Cinnamon Cooney. I'm your art Sherpa, and today we're going to be painting this really fun Bohemian elephant. You guys voted on Facebook, tree frog versus elephant, and literally, and I know this is a terrible pun, but he won by a nose, and I mean like a nose. So that was Stunt Hands is adjusting something. Stunt Hands is adjusting something. So, for those of you that were really for Tree Frog, he's the following Tuesday, which I think is March 22nd. So he did get in, and of course we'll do Blacklight Butterfly at some point, Sherpa After Dark, because there was a core group of you that thought that would be fun, and I would love to do that with you. So nobody loses out. Everybody wins. If you check the iCard, I've got another painting vote coming up.
You do?
That's for that following Saturday, which I think the 25th. If you'd like to suggest what I might want to paint, you can vote there of the suggestions and direct what you get to do next, which I think is kind of fun. And only those of you that show up for elephant get a vote.
Yeah.
No. I'll put it in a couple places. I like the one here because it tells me by what percentage, whereas on Facebook I've got to make checks and count them out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So I'm like, don't let there be any hanging chads. So this is what we're doing today. I'm going to show you every part of this process. We're doing this live, but if you come on the replay, materials are in the description, including links that are helpful. There's a link down there for the finished painting. And I think it's really helpful to have a printout or picture of the finished painting as you're going. I don't have a traceable yet as part of the live show, but I'm going to put one up on the Pinterest board because I don't think drawing should be why you paint or not. Drawing's just an art skill. So there's going to be a traceable. I just don't have one right now. So I'd be very busy. I'm going to put up my canvas.
I'm scanning. We have a really full crowd today.
I'm so excited because I'm so excited to share the elephant with everybody. I'm painting a 16 by 20 pre-gessoed canvas. This is economy though that I get at one of the craft stores. And sometimes on the economy canvases, you guys will need to re-gesso if the coating is giving you any grief. You shouldn't ever have to on a pre-gessoed canvas. This is just a new thing that we're all dealing with, and I'm sharing with you if you're having trouble. Yeah, you're saying.
Oh, so I'm talking to the community out here while you're talking to the audience.
I'm talking to the audience. All right, well, let me go through my thing, and then we'll say hi to the community.
Okay.
Materials are in the description below, and here we're going to be putting out titanium white, cad yellow medium, dogzine purple, quinacridone magenta, phthalo green, kind of an unusual color, but it works for this, ultramarine blue, and cadmium orange. You know, if you don't have those exact colors, you know, don't let that be something that stops you from painting because this is kind of a graphic, fun piece. And also, you don't have to, I'm painting golden today, but, you know, buy just the best paint that your budget will allow. Don't stress your budget out on the paint thing. You know, just as you can through sales and stuff, you know, just always get from good paint companies that care about your experience as a consumer.
Okay.
All right. We got wishes.
We have wishes. I have wishes and questions all accruing up over here. But I'm going to start with the wishes here. So I'd like to start, I think that we'll start with the wish that you sent over here.
Yes. Well, I have a wish announcement.
Okay, so please go ahead.
The young girl that was missing that we were wishing for, she's been found. She's back home with her family.
Oh, that's really good.
So I'm really happy about that. So that's a wish update.
That's a good wish update.
The wish from Sandra.
So, yeah, we're going to wish from Sandra. She's a grandbaby that needs some healing energy.
Yeah, we want healers. I want really good healers to surround Sandra's grandbaby and have her back home with her family really soon.
Yeah. And if we can extend that love to all the little brushes out there that need that. Justin's also in the hospital.
Oh, hi, Justin.
He's a little brush who could use some love and energy, too.
Oh, let's send some healing to Justin.
And we'll just keep extending that to all the little brushes that need
all the little brushes that need healing, and all the little brushes moms too.
Yeah. And
just all the healing.
Then we're going to we have a wish for Angie's dad, Ken, who lost his wife, Angie's mom, last week.
Oh.
And
just to be surrounded by love and family, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna send that out there for.
That's a hard thing.
So we'll send that out there.
Love and family.
And then the last one we're going to wish is, Judy. She's having some Crohn's flare up, and I've been having a little bit myself, and so we're going to send some wishes for all those who have some tummy trouble to
happy tummy energy.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I just wish that for people going through Crohn's. John goes through this, and I just wish that healing in the tummy area, because it's just. Have a hair moment here. I can't see. Gotta get my bangs trimmed. You guys ever gotta get your bangs trimmed? And I'm like, I'm getting that level. Definitely wish for healing. And I have a wish for myself. I have a self-directed wish.
That's
you may or may not have noticed that we tried out for the Almost Famous panel.
We did.
Nearly famous. Less than famous.
Less than famous.
We're less than famous.
Whoa.
And I really want to be on that panel. So, and I'm also wishing that my friend Todd, that's how we met Todd Graham. You remember him painting?
Mm-hmm.
He had a Indifference Pumpkin, for those of you that remember. Indifference Pumpkin Todd. So we're wishing that we get on the Almost Famous panel.
I think that's a good one.
Less than famous.
The less than famous panel.
For VidCon. And of course, if we go to VidCon, we will meet up with you guys in LA and paint. Do some type of painting or something.
Yeah.
When we go to VidCon.
And one of our Sherpettes, Dottie, is also feeling a little poorly today. So
Oh, Dottie, feel better.
Yeah.
Be right here.
And we have a lot of wishes that are always coming in here, and I with all of our light keepers out there, we really appreciate you guys capturing all the other wishes that we can't get to today.
We do. And you can put any wish that speaks to you on your canvas at home. If you don't have a watercolor pencil, I do my wishes with my watercolor pencil because it disappears. It doesn't stay in the paint. A graphite pencil would stay in the paint. But don't forget, you can write wishes, intentions, hopes, dreams, and messages on these back stretchers.
Mm-hmm. It's a good place for them.
It's a great place for them, and they'll always be there. I like doing that for little brushes, sending little messages. So we have our elephant. I made sure I did trunks up. I did a little research, and I decided I had to do trunks up.
Trunks up?
Trunks up, because that's my wish for our whole community.
All right.
Our trunks up wishes. Hopefully the sound is okay. I'm with the speaker.
I'm listening to you.
You're listening to me?
I have my ears on.
So I'm going to draw this in with you guys. And I'm going to try to draw it darkly enough for you guys to see it. It's always a trick with these watercolor pencils.
Yeah.
You should not draw in yours this darkly. I'm going to say that a few fingers down from the top left, I'm going to make a little mark. And I'm going to say, if this is the center mark here, so I'm kind of knowing where I'm drawing, I'm going to come sweep down a little bit. I'm going to come make a little forehead. It sort of arcs out. His little forehead arcs out. And then I'm going to sweep down. I like the trunk being up, so I curve here in a U. One thing I like to do is bring the trunk back just a little bit in an arabesque here. Nice little sweep.
An arabesque?
An arabesque, yeah. I use that word. We'll be talking about that a little bit more. Here at the nose of the trunk, let's see if I can capture that. That's really...
Oh, it's so hard for it to focus on. There it goes. When you zoom in a lot, it makes it a little easier, but it's like...
It's struggling. I know, guys.
Can't.
So here's the little tip to the nose. It should come up with a lip scoop in, like it's a little arcing out, and then another little lip. That's an important part of the elephant nose. And then this should be the narrowest part of it. And then as I taper out, I can let that thicken and arc around.
Yeah, it's real
right
hard
there
for them to see on there. I'm trying to adjust the cameras.
It is just impossible today, guys.
It's here's
what I'm going to do. Because this is such an important one to people, I'm going to break my rule.
You're going to break your rule.
I'm going to break my rule. I'm going to use something that is going to bleed through the paint.
You're going to show it happen. See, and the camera guy has lost her.
I know. I'm off camera, but I'm here. I'm with you. I never do this. Don't do this. Don't do this at home. I just want you to see the drawing. Right? If you're trying to draw along with me, I want you to see the drawing.
Okay. Yeah,
and you can't really see it. So never do this. I'm going to come again. I'm going to scoop down. His little forehead arcs out. See that? Arcing out?
Yeah, we can see it much clearer now.
Well, yeah, because I'm using graphite. All right. When I come down on the nose, I want to definitely curve this down. It's a little harder to draw with pencil too on the canvas.
Yeah.
Coming back up, I'm curving back. I like to curve back towards him. All right, I'm curving back towards him. Don't draw with graphite on your canvas. All right, here's the point I was making about the nose. It tips out, comes back in, and comes out. See that?
Yeah, we can really see it.
This is really important to your elephant feeling like an elephant. You can do a lot of other things wrong, but this little delicate, because they actually hold things and grab things with that part of their nose.
Mm-hmm.
It is a hand for them, and they're quite good at using it. They're just gentle, beautiful creatures.
Who pick things up with their nose.
Who pick things up with their nose. Well, I would too if I had a big long nose like that, right?
It's kind of crazy, but you know.
So now I have a tusk on him because in his world, nobody would ever hurt him for his tusks. So he can have big, beautiful tusks. And I'm going to curve the tusk up. All right? I'm going to curve this tusk up.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I'm going to do a traceable for you guys that are like, I just don't feel like drawing, because that's okay. Now, it's kind of like a branch, and it's going to be narrowest at the point, because this is a modified tooth, right?
Yep.
And it's going to curve back, and he would root up a tree with these. So they have to be powerful for him to take care of his little elephant family. I'm going to bring it back here. Let's see if I can show this on the up-close camera. What we're going to do right here, it's going to come back here. Am I seeing that? Or am I off camera?
I'm there.
Okay, here we go. All right. And then this is where his little mouth is kind of going to be. Then I'm going to make a little chin here, and it comes off. Right?
Yep.
It's not a complicated thing to draw if you'd like to try to draw it. I just wanted you guys to be able to see it. And this pencil is going to bleed through on mine.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I'm going to bring this up for the ear. The stretcher bars are going to mess with my pencil here. They always do. And then right here, if I draw a line right here, I know my ear is going to come down. And then my eye is going to be towards the front here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have an arc up.
Oh, you have to come off the close-up camera.
Okay, let's get the close-up camera where it needs to be. I want you guys to see it. It's going to arc up. Just arc this up. Bring a little line down here. This is kind of like, what would it be like? It'd be like a lopsided smile and round here. Okay? That's what we're going to have going right there. Now, he needs a second tusk over here, by the way.
He does?
Yes, he does, because he would have two. He's not been poached. Nobody's hurt him. He lives in a happy little place where people would never, ever take his teeth.
No way.
Yes. It's my painting. In my painting, he's safe.
Yeah.
That's what I love about my painting, is I can decide what I want to have happen in my world.
Yeah.
So what I do is I always make sure that this tusk is just slightly shorter than this tusk. That's a little bit of perspective there.
Yeah.
Even in graphic paintings like this, those little touches of perspective really help give it that finished look that you're going for. And that's all it takes to draw him in. But I just wanted you to be able to see it, but you should never ever use pencil on your canvas. So definitely don't do as I do. Do as I say on this one. The next thing I'm going to put out is I'm going to, for the ease of getting this painted in, I'm going to use my fluid black paint. You could use your Mars black. I'm going to use my fluid black. And I'm going to grab this 3/4 inch. They're going to say it's a wash, which they're just saying that the bristles are longer. It's kind of like a bright. You can see it's square there. Any 1 inch square brush that has a nice sharp bright on it. And I'm going to paint in everything on the outside of him black. And that's the basis for that wonderful chalkboard look.
Gotcha.
Now I'm using golden carbon black here.
Okay.
And I really like that finish. But you know, Artist Loft makes a carbon black too.
Yeah.
So if you can get the golden carbon black, this is a wonderful product. And you can rely on it. It's hardly ever going to come out cottage cheesy. Hardly, it slips down on me, just so you know.
Oh, does it?
On its own. Cottage cheesy. It's pretty consistent, but again, $1, so it's where you're at. And neither one is a bad choice.
Huh.
Right? You have a budget, you know?
Yeah. Work within your budget.
Work within your budget. Products that treat you well that are in your budget. Though a lot of times, I mean, my experience with Golden and some of the pro paints is I buy them always on sale. All of them always on sale.
Yeah. Coupons.
Coupon.
If I walk in the store and I see that there's a sale on Golden or Liquitex, I'm like, Cinnamon, what are we buying?
Yeah, that's when I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're gonna. But there was a question here about craft paints, and are they can you substitute them for fluid paints?
Yes, you can. So here's the dish on the craft paints. We're gonna talk about it this Thursday on our paint quest.
Yeah.
But I don't mind answering here. I won't make you wait. Craft paints have several different purposes. So some of them are for wood, and some of them are ceramic, and they do these different things, and generally the craft paint companies will make a line for acrylic painting.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that they do is the craft paints for wood or ceramics are not designed to mix.
Right.
And they do something called color shift, which is that they darken as they dry.
Right.
Which is not ideal in acrylic painting. No. We don't like it at all. It makes it very challenging. So Deco and Plaid both have lines that are designed for painting, and those lines of artist paints are perfectly good acceptable alterations for fluid.
Yep. Your mic is slipping down.
It does. I keep putting it up and it keeps slipping down.
We're going to have to look at new mic solutions.
I don't know, because this mic was definitely at the top of our budget. And the other mics don't respect our budget.
No, they don't.
They don't respect our budget at all. So we're all going to live with this mic for a second.
For a second.
For a second. So see what a beautiful black finish that gives me?
Yeah.
Now that's golden. The pigment loads on these paints are insane.
Yeah.
And you will notice as you paint with the different products, you can see a difference in the pigment load. But you know what there's not a difference in? The fun.
Oh, that's true.
The fun is absolutely 1-to-1.
And you can just put a couple more coats on if you need.
And you can just put a couple more coats on if you need.
You know.
So there's never any pressure.
Although, I have to say, I talked to several professional paint reps. Yes. And they made a very good point that if you're going to sell your work,
yes, if you're going to sell,
you should use professional paint.
At home, for your house, for your fun,
yeah,
it is absolutely not important. If you're going to sell your paintings, then it is important to start working those sales and upgrade to pro paints.
Yeah, and there are even there are pro paints that run the entire gamut of budget too.
There are.
It's
It's always okay. And then also there's those exceptions to the rule. Like there's that very famous artist that works in Crayola crayons.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she's terrific. So your art materials will not limit your experience, your result, your talent. They really won't. You know? But you can be fighting them. So it's like, it's one of those things. Art is never all one, all another.
Yep.
No hard and fast. Just shades of color. I love painting in this black part. I really do. It's just very relaxing. And we need a relax. I need a relax this Tuesday.
Yeah.
I've had a lot going on. I got the collab tomorrow with Clive.
Mm-hmm.
Got a quest this week, and it's a big one because we're talking about paint. You know?
And
spring break.
You're right now. Which paint are you using?
I'm using the Golden.
No, which they're asking specifically which one that is because they're trying to find it.
Carbon black.
And that's the fluid paint.
Fluid carbon black.
Fluid carbon black. Okay.
Yeah. But look, if you had fluid Mars black, this would still be okay.
Right. I guess there was a difference between fluid or flow.
Yes. So flow, and we're going to talk about that. Flow, high flow, is what you'd put in an airbrush. Fluid is how you do a one-stroke Donna Dewberry painting.
Gotcha. Okay, well,
right.
That totally answers that.
Heavy body paints Van Gogh.
Oh, so Alan was asking, what about just black gessoing the canvas instead?
You could black gesso the canvas instead, but then you would need to paint your elephant back in white.
Oh, right, yeah.
You would have to draw him in and then paint him in white just to help your colors stay bright. I don't know if you guys, anybody quilts. If you quilt, you understand this. This is doing blacks and brights. I actually used quilting as part of my design because this image wasn't really out there. I was sort of looking for inspiration and I kept not seeing this. And I was like, well, if I'm not seeing it, I better paint it.
Yeah.
You know, and I definitely went back to my quilting days on designing black and bright quilts and used that to sort of be my inspiration for him. When you're painting along, be really sure to just relax your body and relax your mind. Be sure to breathe in, breathe out. Sometimes when we're painting, we hold our breath.
We're gonna have to talk to Karen because I know you like her music so much. We're gonna put it out. We're gonna have to we rotate through it, but I know you like it, so. And it's so easy to listen to while you're painting.
It's really easy to listen to while you're painting. She is for sale on Amazon. The album is Sigh.
Yep.
I did not know we were playing it today, so I forgot to quick link it before the live.
I didn't either. But
okay.
I was not feeling the rotation that we had for the kind of vibe that we had going today, so I switched.
I think that's what you got to do.
Some
if you're
days.
not feeling it, switch.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this. This is just almost done, and the finish on this is so nice. And I love this finish. Now the fluid, what does it do for me? This stiff brush, this stiff acrylic brush, and this fluid paint makes covering this canvas very easily so that none of the white of the canvas shows through, and I'm getting a beautiful finish. That's what it gives me.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for that. I'm going to make sure that here specifically, it does matter that you cover all the canvas, and you're going to want to make sure that you have a beautiful flat black finish. I mean, it can be shiny, but you just want it to be uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So fun for me to do. I really love doing this. I do love doing this.
Yeah.
It's my relaxing Tuesday. You guys don't know, but it really is.
Yeah. Now,
Art chill out.
Judy was asking,
Hi, Judy.
Could you use heavy body and flow over or floating medium? Could you
floating medium and heavy body?
Yeah. So.
Or does she mean a fluid medium and heavy body?
I think so.
Okay. Yes. If I had just heavy body in my studio and I was trying to get these techniques, what I would do is I would thin my paint with a medium.
Gotcha.
You could also thin it with water that's free from the tap.
Yep.
What it does, though, is it thins the pigment and it breaks down the paint, and it does kind of impact your finish. So if it's in your budget to get fluid medium, definitely do that. And if it's not, get that tap water.
Yeah.
But what you should do is definitely paint. Now, I'm getting kind of to the edge and I don't want to work too hard, so I'm going to turn this over on my side. I'm just painting that in, right?
Now, is one mass... I can't even speak today. Listen to me. So Ethel would like to know...
Ethel.
Today she's Ethel. Is carbon black more matte than Mars black?
Actually, I'm doing this off of memory because I don't have my black card in front of me.
So
I think it actually has a shinier finish.
One's shinier than the other for sure.
Yeah, I think this one has the shinier finish. You can't use them together. It throws off your finish. You'd have to varnish at the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you got to do Mars or carbon.
Interesting. Interesting.
But out of the two, this is my preferred finish for this background. Yeah, I think this one has a slightly higher gloss to it because where it's dry, it's still shiny. So I think this one is the glossier one.
Mm-hmm.
But I like that look, especially when I put the white paint on it. So,
Gotcha.
woo-hoo. I had fun with that.
So Judy was saying that floating medium is by Plaid, and Donna Dewberry uses it with craft paint in one stroke.
Then yes, I am definitely not a Donna Dewberry expert, and I'm not a Plaid product expert by any means. But I have to say I've called them a couple times. They have the really nicest 1-800 line of actual people that answer.
Yeah.
So yeah, if that's what Donna's doing to get the flow off of her brush, then that's what it would be. Now listen, this is all chemistry, so I can't back this with anything. But it would be interesting to experiment to see if that floating medium worked across all your paints well.
Yeah.
Because it should be able to.
Yeah.
It should be able to. It might. I'm just drinking water today.
Yeah, no problem. So, how do you deal with water drips on your painting when your brush is too wet?
Grab a towel, dry it, let the whole thing dry, see how much actual damage was done. So say I'm painting along here and this is all completely done and a drip comes right across here and it goes right down through everything I painted, right?
Uh-huh.
Take very carefully, you take a towel, as long as everything around it's dry, and you just dab up that water. Let it dry completely because it may disappear.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't disappear, then you got to paint it.
Yeah.
But check to make sure it disappears because sometimes it does.
Yeah.
I have a number 8 shader by Simply Simmons that I'm using. I'm going to put out just a little of this. And I'm going to come here and make a little thin line coming up on his tusk.
You're following along that graphite there.
Yeah.
So while you're
Following along that graphite, I'm going to come along and just line that a little bit with black paint. Now listen, I'm going to come back. It's going to get painted out and painted back in. I'm just making sure that I'm going to keep it a little bit. I normally would not do this, but for this technique, for this look, I'm going to. I'm going to come up and do the eye just real fast. Just real fast.
And I'm going to say thank you because we have a really full house. There's over 230 people out here hanging out.
Hi, thank you.
Painting elephants and hanging out with us. And there's a really great fun chat going on. And I wanted to say thanks to everybody, including all of our moderators. And please, please, please like, share, comment, share this with your friends. Let them know that we're out here doing this. We'd like to see more people come and join us. We really love having you guys here with us.
It's really special. It really is. Being able to do this live with y'all is amazing.
So, I don't know what they call it when an elephant, sounds its horn.
Mm-hmm. Trumpet.
When they trumpet.
Mm-hmm.
So, are we going to rate this painting in hoots or trumpets?
This is a 2 trumpet.
This is a 2 trumpet?
This is a 2 trumpet.
I guess an elephant could hoot, kind of.
Yeah. The reason this is a 2 trumpet is there's a lot of color mixing. That's the difficulty of this painting. It's not a particularly intensive drawing painting. I'm putting out my quinacridone magenta.
Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
You even say it right.
Well, you know what? Our community taught us really well, didn't they?
They taught you.
I'm putting out some ultramarine blue. That's a really key ingredient in this one. You could use your phthalo, but I really love the look of the ultramarine. I'm putting out some cad yellow. Cadmium yellow medium.
Mm-hmm.
You can save money by buying hue, and it does increase the safety of the paint because, cadmium is poison and you shouldn't eat it. Also, you shouldn't put it all over your hands for years on end.
Yeah, you should just generally avoid
Yeah, it's perfectly safe to put on your brush and put to canvas. It is not ideal for, eating or bathing in any way.
Human interaction.
No. I'm going to put out a little dioxazine purple.
Oh, that's pretty to look at.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
Pretty to look at.
Don't use it for anything else.
Yes, don't. No. I'm put out a little. See, I've got some Matisse here. I love Matisse. I got the Matisse or cadmium orange. If you're in Australia, you can easily get Matisse. I don't know how long we're going to be able to get Matisse here.
Yeah, we have a lot of Australians with us.
Matisse, by the way, if you're in Australia, Matisse is an incredible paint company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't we have a whole box of paint that we have to go experiment here with real quick?
Actually,
don't we?
that is going to be Solaris. This Saturday, the fantasy face, we're going to be doing some inks, and we're going to be using the System 3 paints to paint that.
Excellent. So
Isn't that fun?
We're going to try out a lot, because we have a bunch of colors there that we haven't used either, too.
Yeah.
Lots of experimentation.
Lots of experimentation.
Experiment.
So much fun to say it.
Experiment.
I'm going to grab this number 8 bright. This is the Firm Filament from Simply Simmons. I point that out not because I'm their brand rep, but because this brush really works and it's under $3. Right? I'm going to take a little yellow over to my white. And hopefully I'm going to make sure that this is dry because I don't want too much black inside. And this is a very light color. I'm going to paint this in. Let's see if I'm up on this on the up close cam. I'm painting his little trunk. I had a lot of stuff with the trunk in the original one. I kept thinking, oh, I'm going to do this on the trunk. I'm going to do this on the trunk. And then I would change my mind. Get a little more CAD. Here's the load of the paint. So it's just on the tip of the brush. And I haven't really over mixed it. A lot of times I'll let it work itself out on the canvas.
Ethel wants to know, how many elephants can you get into a mini?
Oh boy, Ethel. Where are you taking me?
I don't know.
I don't know, Ethel. How many elephants can you get into a mini?
I'm like, I don't know what's going on there. I have a mini.
None in our mini.
But we could put that one in my mini.
All right. See there, we've got that nice. Now I'm going to pick up a little of my CAD orange, just a small amount, my CAD yellow, and some white. And I'm going to start blending in this orange. Make sure I've got a nice little clean line here. Blending, blending, blending. You can pick up some white. Here's the trick to this. If you're working wet into wet paint with a stiffer brush on a good canvas, it's going to blend well. There's not a talent. There's not a talent component of blending.
No?
That's a skill only.
There's not some born blenders?
No. In it, some people are more inclined to a certain set of skills, sure.
You want to pull your close-up camera down there?
But I'm picking up a little more yellow as I'm going. So I'm doing an ombre on the trunk.
So we all have equal potential to blend, is what you're saying.
We all have equal potential, yes. We all have equal potential for this experience. Each elephant, you guys, is going to be a little bit different, right? Because as you pick up stuff, as you pick up things, you're going to each do it a little differently. And that's all that is.
No, I really do like that this is when I saw you doing this, I thought it's like, again, I could do this.
You can do this. Anyone can do this.
And I really like it. I like the layout of the elephant, and he looks kind of happy.
He's happy. His trunk's up.
Yep.
Trunk's up elephant. I'm going to rinse out my brush a little bit because I've got some orange on here. And orange and green are close to complements on the scale. So if they get too close to each other, they're going to gray each other out. And I'm going to pick up a little of this green and a little white. Maybe a little yellow here. And I'm going to start working up here. And it gives me this sort of, really delicious-y mint color. And you can kind of see how I've loaded this brush.
Well, actually, you pull that up closer to the camera there. Because, there you go. That one. So, Miss Mulcahy was saying that she thinks you're the master of loading that paintbrush.
Thank you.
And how do you keep from getting paint up in the ferrule? Any tips for that?
So what I'm watching, because the paint wants to go to the ferrule. Just so you know, it's not just you. The paint wants to go to the ferrule. And as it's moving up, as I'm pressing into the brush, it moves the paint up in.
No, down.
Sorry.
There you go. Other way. Hey.
Okay. So as I'm painting, it pushes the paint up into these bristles. There it is.
There you go.
Okay, as I'm painting it. And then when it gets about the halfway point, I'm either going to wipe my brush on my towel or I'm going to rinse it. And if you go back and you watch Kincaid, if you watch any painters that have painted on TV, right? Even Bob with the wacky, wacky, whack, just watch us. Just kind of sit back quietly, and instead of observing how they're putting the paint on the canvas, observe how they're interacting with their tools. There's a bunch of painting programs still on PBS and stuff. It's, thank you. You got to stop signing at me and just say, honey, move your mic up.
Okay.
You just need to say it. And so watch how we're interacting with our tools, because you'll see us actually regularly wipe on a towel or go to our water and clean when the paint has started to move up the brush.
Yep.
Just observe. Like Jane Goodall, watch the artist in nature.
Watch them in their natural habitat.
I'm telling you what, do, because we're very fascinating people.
Watch as the Bob beats his brush upon the easel.
I'm just adding white to this. I haven't picked up any more green pigment at all. I'm just adding white to get this light tone. And it's okay that I'm painting out some of the black. I just need to know where it is as I'm going, because it'll come back in. You know, you can grab a little of your quinacridone, and I haven't rinsed my brush. I'm going to come around this eye. And this is about how this painting works. Around this eye. Blending right here. Blending here. Alright, wipe this off. Grab some of your green. Trying to decide the darkness of my green. Little white. Just picked it up and getting some green here. And this is really, we're just going to keep coming in with these paint colors. Again, every time you do your elephant, you're going to have some slightly different stuff going on. I'm going to even pick up a little of my ultramarine here into my green. So I'm blending it in right there. Changing that green a little. As I'm coming down. Now I'm going to do an interesting thing. I'm going to grab a little purple.
I think that
and a little white.
So it's really awesome when I look over and I see that we have
pull that purple all the way up the line.
Multilingual Sherpa action going on in
there. Do we?
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's Dutch right now, I think.
That's awesome. Add
it's
a
Mona.
little
She
moisture
speaks
to my brush.
10 languages, so you can never really tell with her.
Some of you guys are so amazingly all of you guys are amazingly talented. I'm impressed at the community all the time.
Swedish.
She's Swedish?
Well, they're speaking Swedish right now.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. I can, it's like when I hear some of the European languages, I can pick them out a little easier, but reading them, man, it's really, really hard.
Yeah.
The difference between like Swedish and Dutch and some of the other, the Nordic languages, it's really difficult for me to be able just to spot them. So
one of the things happening here is there's still a little green in my and it will dispense into the paint a little bit. I'm going to wipe. I'm going to pick up a little blue. a little green here. It still has some purple on it, and I'm going to come down my trunk with this little green and purple. Just a little bit. And that makes the little bit of skin that the tusk is attached to. Okay, and then I'll work that in. If you need a little, I might grab a little ultramarine to try to keep that painterly, what we like, are intentionally making things a hot mess. Alright, come up in here with that. But see, because we're doing against the black and we're using these bright pigments, our colors are staying very bright and not getting muddy. If they're getting muddy, we're getting into contrast is all that's happening to us.
Yeah. Which
we're going to be doing in a minute. It's sort of a challenging bit, the next bit, but I love it anyways. So the next one I'm going to get into, I'm going to get in a little of my quinacridone and a small amount of my yellow and some of my white. And you can kind of see this hot mess mix here. Let's see if we can get there. You see
Looking
how
good,
it's
yeah.
just there, so I'm going to let it work out here. We'll pull this in and start saying, here's some ear stuff that's happening right here.
Yeah, you get the close up there a little bit more.
Yeah. He was really relaxing. I'm going to pull out a little bit. That's the wrong direction. He was real relaxing to paint. And yes, we are absolutely going to orient left in the studio. It's just hard.
We'll be doing that here probably next week.
Yeah, it is really hard to move the studio, so we're just trying to figure out when we've got a breadth of days. And we just had too many back-to-back filmings.
Yeah.
Too many back-to-back filmings.
No, that's the
quinacridone magenta. Passamaquoddy pink.
Yeah, I swear, I default to that, and I throw people off because they're like, what color is that? And I'm like, Passamaquoddy pink, and it isn't really the name of the color.
I'm grabbing a little of the cadmium orange. I know directly from Golden, Chris over at Golden said his favorite was Peril orange.
Peril orange?
Yeah, Perr. There's a Y in there, O-L-A. I'm never going to be in a spelling bee. It's never happening. I'm going to get a little of my yellow here and a little of my white. See, I'm just blending. I'm blending wet into wet, and I've got a stiff brush and good paint. Paint isn't overly dry, so they blend nicely. That's all that's happening.
Yeah.
That's all that's happening up in here.
Yeah, everyone's saying here in the chat how much they're enjoying the music, and I'm
so glad.
This was the CD that was sent to us in fan mail, and it's Karen Walters Sigh, and we just are so pleased to be able to have it. She sent us along the permission so we could just play it here along with you guys, and we're gonna try to reach out to some more.
You guys have albums. Yeah. Let us know. You want us to play them on the show.
We're just loving it.
You own a record company and you're just painting along. If your husband owns a record company, you're painting along. You own it or he owns it. Anybody? You got a cousin that owns it.
Or if you just have some, if you're a musician.
You're a musician.
You know some musicians. We'd love to work.
I'm just saying, maybe somebody over at Universal paints with us. We don't know.
You're so funny. Just get your close-up camera there. Is there a doctor in the house? You're too far over there.
Nah, can you see it?
There we go.
There
you can see much more.
So isn't he lovely? He's already just beautiful, isn't he?
He really is.
He's just already beautiful. Honestly, this is already just so joyful. Color is joyful.
So what substitute if they don't have green?
You could mix phthalo blue and cad yellow.
Yellow and blue make green?
Yeah, but not all yellow and blue. These two won't make green. These two will make some type of army color.
That's true. So what color?
I'm going to need some fresh water.
Luckily, you should have 3 there. Did you use them all
up? Oh, no, I didn't. You're right. You were ready for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to move a little of my white out of the way. It's getting a little dirty.
What 2 colors would you suggest they use?
I would use phthalo green, Phthalo, phthalo green. Phthalo blue.
Okay.
Which is somewhere. Oh, here it is. I would use phthalo and cad yellow.
Okay.
In light or medium to get this green.
To get that green.
Or a close approximation of that green.
Okay.
Some close kind of almost that green.
Now, your sippy today is
water.
Water.
Because it's early.
Because it's early.
When I already powered down my coffee.
Yep.
So I'm going to take a little of my... Oh, hi. I'm going to take a little of my ultramarine blue into my white, make a very, very light color.
Yeah.
And at the tip of these beautiful tusks, do you guys think I have some feelings about hunting elephants for tusks? I might. I have some feelings about that. I wish that doesn't happen anymore.
No more.
No, not necessary. And pull this down. Any animal that has a graveyard and mourns, just definitely don't shoot it for its teeth. I know I'm a tree hugger, but seriously. So I'm pulling this in. Such beautiful, incredible creatures. Teach us so much about our world.
Yeah.
I love them. I love elephants. I'm sending them love right now, and I bet they feel it. Because they're in tune like that.
Mm-hmm.
They get it.
So, I think
I'm going to keep picking up a little ultramarine as I go back because I want this trunk to get darker as it moves back towards him.
Yeah, I'm thinking that I saw one up in the chat. It's been really, we had a really great audience going on, a lot of interaction out there. But I think that somebody said that they had a tube of paint break, like the lid broke off or something. What can you do? Do you have any suggestions for that?
Okay, so here's what. I know people have taped it. They'll like you duct tape and stuff like that. I have been a lazy Ken's, and generally I just grumble and buy a new tube. But I know that's not possible for everybody. There are a couple, and I don't remember what they are off the top of my head, tutorials right now on the YouTube about that specifically. One, how to get paint back in a tube. Right? Which is like, I haven't ever done that, but there's some great ones about that. My mom did a tip on that, and then there's some about how to deal with a broken tube of paint.
Right.
And I think there's a clamp that you can buy at the art store that clamps where it broke as long. If the cap broke off, you know, my top thing is there's like this cork you can shove it into.
Yeah.
But again, that's not something I've done a lot of. But what I can absolutely promise you, if you're like, type in how to repair a broken tube of paint, there's a bunch of really good videos.
Yeah. Now, you know, if
so what I can tell you is you've come to the right place.
No.
Somewhere on the YouTube, we got you.
Generally speaking, your paint tube caps, though, shouldn't break.
No. You can also... Oh, well, here's the one I can help you with. So find the manufacturer of your paint tube.
Yeah.
Right? And if they are a good brand, and this is a good test of your paint partner, they should just... You can probably just send them a picture, and they will replace it.
Well, yeah. Talk to them and find out. They're going to have a policy on this. So
yeah, like I know Liquitex and Golden. I have never had to send anything back to Matisse, so I'm going to guess on Matisse that they would. But I know Liquitex and Golden will fix it. They will send you paint. They will take care of you.
If it's legitimately something that was that
yeah,
was
I
wrong,
can't. Yeah,
a defect. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I honestly, I've seen Liquitex have some. They really treat their customers well, and in my experience, Golden has as well.
Yeah.
So that's just my experience, is that they really, really would rather have you as a customer and take care of you. I'm not at all suggesting that you scam them. Anyway, but I mean, if something of yours breaks, they're gonna really care about that.
Yeah.
So I've got a nice little ombre here on the tusk. This beautiful ombre in the tusk. And I'm going to come and do a similar thing on the other side where I mix the nice light here and get a little darker as I go back. So yeah, definitely go to the website and contact their customer service.
Yeah.
And if they don't help you or fix it, I'd get a new paint company.
Yeah. She was saying that the back of the tube blew out on her, and she was using just Judy.
Hi, Judy.
She used a chip clip, like to seal it off.
Yeah, that would, if I wasn't going to replace the tube, that would be my solution too. I think you could probably make a video about that chip clip. Yeah, Judy, what's the brand though? I think that they should replace it for you.
Oh, you got to check that out. Whether or not it was.
And again, there are some companies that would happily do it, and that's a good sign of their being a good paint partner. The stores are not always... I think that's where we get disconnected as artists. We go to return it at the store, and the store's like, no, they're supposed to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you really got to look at it. And when you talk to your paint manufacturers, they're going to tell you what to expect.
Yeah.
If you're buying a product and you're using it in the correct way, then they're going to tell you how to take care of it and how to warranty it. And if you're using it wrong, then they'll tell you, like, here's how you should use it properly so you don't have that problem.
I was about to drink paint water. That was weird.
So, they're a really good resource to go to when you have trouble.
The distributors, the storefronts, I haven't found to be... obviously, a mom and pop shop like a small locally owned one could be amazing.
Yeah, you oftentimes find those small locally owned art stores are going to have a lot more investment in the customer experience.
Yeah. And less likely to tell you, oh yeah, paint's supposed to curdle.
Yeah. They're,
I'm just pulling some of this pigmented white here because I want to kind of create a blend here. So look, when you're seeing stuff on your elephant, so this had, some of my pink, some of my white. I just wanted to make a nice transition here. You can look for those things, like if you just didn't have a nice paint area and you wanted to make that a little bit better. Definitely. I'm so loving this. It makes me happy.
Really, really good looking.
I know. I went a little pink on the eye instead of green, but I'm liking it, so I'm not going to change it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Does it make sense?
That does make sense. I like it.
Does make sense. Now I want to get a little of my white and maybe my green, little white and green, and with a little of this. I need a light dusty color. Mm-hmm. And I want to come here and I'm going to just sort of dust around here. I just wanted another layer of painterliness. That's what I'm going to do. Something I had here and I like the look of it, so I'm going to continue it on. Just a little, see how I scrumbly around? It's just nice. Yeah. It's a weird thing. You don't have to do that. I just like it. That's why I do it. Sometimes I do things because I just like it. That's what happened. I just like it. I'm going to get a little of my purple. I'm going to come under my ear here. I feel like it needs it. A little purple under my ear here. Just creating a little shadow. This big, beautiful ear. And then a little bit again at the mouth. Isn't that nice? I'm just having kind of like this day of like, I'm enjoying myself. Mm-hmm. You guys will have to hang in with me. It's one of those days. Sherpa off the reservation. So I'm going to get one of my more control brushes, my number 4 bright. Mm-hmm. So that nice sharp edge. And I think I'm going to start putting in some of these patterns and details I like so much. So I'm going to take a little of my green and a little of my yellow. They're not overly mixed on the brush. I'm going to come up here. I'll move my close-up cam so you can kind of see me do this work. I'm going to start putting in the Bohemian factor. So I'm going to make a nice little line.
What is the Bohemian factor?
The Bohemian factor. It's this wonderful eclectic colors, textures and colors and florals and prints that give the sense of being traveled globally. Uh-huh. So that's what I feel it is. It's probably a more specific definition though. But that's what I go for. And now I'm going to just paint this in. I'm not going to worry about it being perfect, if that makes sense. The canvas can show through a little underneath on these because I want it to have a handmade feel. Pick up just the yellow here. Maybe I'll make a leaf that comes down here. And this is, I kind of do a little arabesque where I just curl up and curl down. I wander. I make a lyrical kind of line. This leaf I'll do bigger. It's picked up a little more of the yellow. And I'll just pick up little bits of green and yellow, painting this in, enjoying this story. I really love the Bohemian design sensibility. It's really, really picking up right now, and I'm kind of glad about it. Because I like it. So I'll see more of it. That works for me. I'm going to take a little branch down here, make a little leaf. I picked up darker green, so this one is darker green. Make a little leaf here. You can wander these around as you see fit. This is your canvas. You can tell this story any way you want to.
Laurie came in and...
Hi, Laurie.
She's like, Bohemian means non-conventional or avant-garde.
Sure.
So I guess there's our more structured definition to know.
More structured definition. But I think when you're trying to design that aesthetic, if you want people to be like, oh, that's Bohemian... try to create a look that says that these things, these objects, these textures and colors have been collected globally from somebody that is seasoned. You know, they're traveled. I love this one.
The song?
Yeah. I might give it another little leaf here because I feel like it needs one. I like that amount of leafage. I'm happy with my leaves. There. Right.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of that there. And I think I'm going to pull in a little ultramarine blue and white. I'm going to start putting in the centers of my flowers. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to say, oh, let's put a center of a flower right here. Let's put a center of a flower right there. Little half circle on and off the canvas. That's lovely. And then maybe there's a little flower peeking out. It's going to layer over this leaf, but it's peeking out right there.
I will be right back.
There's kids. Someone's at our door. I'm going to put this here and then I'll rest while he's going and answering the door. Nice little half circle there. You can kind of see how these blue polka dots start to really pull the piece together. And you can start to see how like the ultramarine is such a strong blue in this field, and it creates such a bright color story. And that's really what you're trying to do here, is create a bright and cheerful color story that people can really relate to and that you can relate to, so that when you see it, you find that your heart is full and you're feeling better about things, because his world can be so perfect. And also these little leaves, they become the basis of our leaves on the black part, which if you like it just clean, you can leave it. But I love that look of the chalkboard. It felt like a children's storybook to me almost. And I think we have an adult version of that we like as people. Are you back, John?
I'm back.
So I'm just back-ish.
Ish.
Back-ish. So I'm going to look for a little spot here. I'm going to put a little half circle there. I feel like there's some room there. You just find your spots, create your half circles, your circles. I think there needs to be a full circle right here. Let's put a little full circle right there. Let that be there. So fun. You know, I'm going to pick up a little of this blue right now while I'm here. And I'm going to come and off this ear, I'm going to make a little swirl. Just a little swirl. And then on the edge, I'm going to come and do another one here. Just a little swirl. Maybe I'll take this swirl back. And that's starting to be the basis of that nice little Bohemian that I'm going to have there. That little lyrical pattern. Ooh, I'm in such a chill mode today. My brain is like, rrr.
Yeah.
I'm going to come along the lid with this blue. I'll put a little bit around his little eye here. We're going to come back with white and gray and some other things. We're just going to just tell a little story there.
Yeah.
Just add a little of that there while we're there. Rinse out our brush. Now the first layer of petals is going to be a little bit of orange and white. And so I'm just going to come and do little brush strokes out. Hopefully you guys can, let me get over here where you can really see that. These are just little, I'm using the bright. I'm still number 4 bright here. I'm just using these little brush strokes going out. I'm going to come back with white.
I'm having a bit of a button moment there.
You're having a bit of a button moment. I'm going to come right here and add some little orange brush strokes right there. A little bit right there. Just pulling those out.
What brush is that you're using?
The number 4 bright. It's just under a ½ inch, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull out some all around this. Now I'm going to come back with white with these.
You're off the canvas.
Okay. I'm going to come back with white, and that's what's going to make them pop, but I like this orange understudy to them.
Ah, yeah.
I do. I like the orange understudy. I'm going to put some petals there at that inside ear. Just enjoy that. Just a little bit of the understory there. And they can layer over other things. I'm going to rinse out my brush because it's fun. I'm going to come up to the top of his head. I'm going to get some just yellow. And I'm going to make a little circle right here. A little half circle. Just bright, happy yellow. Now, I'm going to grab some of my quinacridone.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even rinsed it. And a little white. I'm going to make little petals. Just happy little petals. And I'm letting the paint streak and mix on the canvas. Like you do. Streak and mix. You'll get a little different effect every time you do this. Pick up a little white. Streak and mix on the canvas. Just creates a happy little story there.
Yeah.
Little happy story. I'm going to rinse out my brush. And I'm going to just real quick, interestingly enough, I'm going to load up a little of my black.
Mm-hmm.
And just along the nose, let me see if I can pull the up-close camera on here. While some of this other stuff is drying, I'm going to come in and put a little detailing in. Some little, I'm bringing down little nose wrinkles.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit, not a lot. And then I'm also going to define up just a little bit of the area around our trunk. Just clean that up just a bit. Yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe down here just a little bit. Just a little bit. Clean that up. Don't think I need... Well, I can come back with a little bit here. Just making sure that this eye is well thought out. I think I'm good there. Need any more? Alright, I feel like that's good there. Rinse, 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 rinse. Now I'm going to come back with just a little of my ultramarine blue and my green. It's interesting how this ultramarine works really well with this phthalo green. They're friendly. They're in good places on the color wheel. So what you get is actually wonderful color for ocean painting, by the way, if you didn't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
So
going
we
to
have
come
an
in...
aquatic elephant?
Aquatic elephant. But we've got some of this green in there. It's a beautiful green. And I'm going to just define out my leaf a little bit with this dark green. Now, see, it was working up into my ferrule like we were talking about, so I'm going to wipe it out.
Empty it out, clean it out.
Empty it out, and pull it back to the tip of the brush. I'm going to come... I don't want to erase all of my bright green, but I'm going to add some of this... little brush strokes down. I'm creating a little definition to my leaves. Not a lot, because this needs to stay light.
So I have to say, Laurie was saying that Swedish looks so pretty when it's typed, because there's been a lot of typing in Swedish going on out here, and I have to agree that it's a very pretty language to see typed out.
Yeah. Real beautiful. You've been to... I have been to Switzerland. You've been to Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to Sweden.
I've been to Switzerland. John's been to Sweden. But have you been to Switzerland too?
I may have driven like just to a tiny corner portion of it.
Yeah, we're always like one of us was at the one and the other one. It's weird.
Yeah. So mostly it was Germany.
I just went where the chocolate was.
I went where all the BMWs were racing and arcade games were shipping.
Yeah, I went to the chocolate. And where Heidi was written. All right, I'm going to get some yellow. I'm going to just load up some yellow on my brush. I'm going to come and just add just a little bit of this to my leaves just to create some of this fun, beautiful, bright pop of color. Right? A little bit of that is just lovely. Maybe a little here. And you can put a second coat on his forehead if you need it, because yellow is one of those thinner pigment paints. It is. Rinse, 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 rinse. And I'm going to pull some just white. And I'm going to define my petals now while I'm here. And the orange creates this lovely background. Don't know why it does, but it does. Oh, I actually do know why it does. I don't know why I said it. I don't know why. It's a mystery, but it's not really a mystery. But I'm just creating this little, and it's okay if the orange is still a little bit wet, because it's wonderful that it pulls into the white. It creates a painterly effect that you'll like, and the two tones of it creates a dimensionality that you'll enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Two tones create a dimensionality that you will enjoy a great deal. And this is a great time to get a smaller brush. I'm going to get this number 2 shader here.
Oh, I was like trying to find you there.
Number 2 shader. And I'm going to get my phthalo green and a little of my cad yellow. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add just a little bit of these meandering vines to the trunk.
Wow, there's a real compliment that's come out.
What?
So, Piece 3601.
Hi, Piece 3601.
Said, John, can you tell Cinnamon that I had Mackenzie Childs as my art teacher and she's better than he was? Well, I know how you feel about Mackenzie Childs, so I was like, well, there's a double whammy for you. So,
well, I think that was there was a husband and wife team. Oh my gosh, he's such a good painter.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I know you really liked all of the.
That is a compliment. That's a super compliment. Like, wow. I almost can't remember how to teach now. Such a good compliment. Thank you.
So what size brush are you using?
I'm using a number 2 shader.
And what are you doing with that number 2 shader?
I'm making little tiny leaves.
With what color?
With cad yellow and phthalo green. Thank you, Sherpa Tracker.
Got it.
Secret was saying you're so good at keeping me on track. So was Maricha. Just keep that Sherpa on track. I'll bring a little vine out between these two. And it's just about telling a little, like there's little wonderful leaves creeping on his beautiful trunk, his beautiful tusks.
Yeah.
Isn't that lovely?
Elizabeth was asking, John, does Cinnamon rinse out her brushes or does she slam them at the bottom of the cup and swirl them around like everyone else?
I slam at the bottom and swirl like everyone else, but you should never do that.
No, there's a proper method. Actually, having talked to some brush people at the show, there's some really, really good brush practices.
Yeah, there are.
That you should
that
know
you should totally do. We'll cover them at some point. If you wanted to do them, we'll cover them.
It's like
I'm lazy. That's all that's happened here.
We also don't have a brush that's made of squirrel fur.
No. None. Last bit of color on him before we get into the white work is I'm going to take a number 4 bright.
But those handmade,
Oh yeah, it's insane.
Some of those brush makers just
Are on
really take
another
that
level.
crafting to another point. Yeah.
Another level. They're also highly competitive with each other.
Yes.
No other brush maker is good. Only us.
But they all do have.
But they're passionate, man.
And they all actually have some unique mojo stuff to them.
They
so
do.
I'll say that
they do. It's like diamond cutters. Remember I've compared it to diamond cutters?
Yeah.
It's a thing.
So your close-up camera there.
Okay, thank you. Sherpa Tracker. So isn't he just coming together beautifully?
Really
Isn't he
is.
just a happy joy? Can I just outline him with a little purple? I like this touch. I don't even mind that it goes a little dry brush on me because then it's just whimsical.
I'm going to say thank you to Cheryl because
Hey,
she's
Cheryl.
like, are we going to have a game or what?
Oh, is it art game? Are we going to do art game?
Someone called out art game.
I loved the entries for last art game.
I did too.
John is actually working on some more stuff with art game, but we'll play art game the regular way right now.
Are we? Okay.
All right, art game.
Think about that.
For those of you that wish to play art game.
Yeah.
I'm going to go first, and my first word is butterfly.
Windmill.
Umbrella.
Horse.
Butterfly, windmill, umbrella, horse.
A color. We need a color in there.
You want a color?
I don't know. What do you want to put in there?
So we've got butterfly, windmill, umbrella, horse, and I don't know, balloon?
Yeah, that's good.
Balloon. 25 minutes. Butterfly, windmill, umbrella, horse, balloon. 25 minutes. And you can do it in color, you can do it in black and white, and the first rule of art game is you have to know talking bad about your doodle or anyone else's doodle. All doodles are valid because it's our game.
So it's our game. So what you do is sometime in the next half hour, go and take those 5 words: butterfly, windmill, horse, balloon, umbrella, and represent something, some sketch.
You put it together any way you want
however
to.
you want to do it. Just post it.
However you want to do it.
It's just a fun game. No, we're gonna be doing some stuff.
I just put some white and purple on, and I'm swirling up just a couple more swirls. Just a couple more swirls. I'm coming on the inside of some of the swirls I have. Just letting you know I did that.
Sue's like, no more horses. No more horses. And she's probably right. Horse was a tough one to throw in there.
Who did it? Did I do it?
I put horse in there.
Oh, okay.
I probably should switch horse to something else.
No, our game is our game.
Our game is our game. It's true. It's on. I won't do horse again for a long time.
Did we do horse last time?
I don't know, but we'll make horse. You could substitute.
No. Our game is our game. Horse is horse.
Horse
Look,
is horse.
There's a lot of ways. It could be a hobby horse.
It could be a hobby.
It could be a rocking horse. It could be a seahorse.
You could get creative.
A sawhorse.
A sawhorse. That's true.
See, that's our game. That's what our game is for. It's like, oh, how do I solve that? It's our game. Our game.
All
right.
So I think we gave people enough outs so they don't have to draw a conventional horse, that they can feel other horse.
Things are totally acceptable.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to work with 2 brushes. I'm going to work with that number 2 shader, and I'm going to work with my number 4 bright. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load up some white paint on my number 2 shader. And I'm using fluid on this because I don't want to work that hard. I'm going to come just on the inside of his eye, underneath his little lid. And then I'm also going to do a couple lines underneath his eye, a little bit on the front. I'm going to make some downward lashes into the eye. And then a little reflection just right there. That's all I'm going to say about that. Then I'm going to go around. Let me move my up close. Oh, it's in a good spot. It's actually really good. Woohoo, finally, for once. I'm going to make some little swirls. Some of them are going to show up well depending on the darkness of the background. Some of them are not, but I'm going to make them all around his little face. Little swirls. Happy, happy little swirls coming around here. I like the swirls. Little swirl there. Some swirling there. Work your swirls however you want to work your little swirls. I'm going to do some swirls down into the purple.
They're all making fun of me that I snorted when you...
When I what?
You made me laugh sometimes, like when you had the close-up camera. It was perfectly in the right place, and then you moved it. And then
really?
And then you painted right where you moved it, so we couldn't see. And it was just
it's such a problem. I'm going to outline a little of my leaves here, just a little bit, just a little, guys. Just creating those little layers. Paintings are like layers. Now I've got all that in. He's done. And here's your decision right now, guys. You can decide, do I want him against this clean field of black?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I want to do the chalkboard leaves? And I think if you've painted with Angela, you've done some chalkboard stuff with her. So you guys kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And I'm going to load up my number 4 bright because it's got a nice crisp edge. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start putting in some vines. Right? And then on these vines, I'm going to attach leaves.
Now, for right now, are we just going to be posting Art Game up on the YouTube page?
Well, you can't post it on the YouTube page.
On the Facebook page?
You can put it on the Facebook page. You can put it in the Angeluni group. You can put it on the Heart Party Facebook page. You can post it to my page. There is an official art game group that got started forever ago when we all started playing art games. You can put it in there. Maricha actually puts art game in there. She's just now going to strangle me because I just said there was an art game group.
No, she already did. She said right at that exact moment, she said that the art game group in Facebook.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. So there's a couple places that it can go, and we're going to have probably within the next couple of weeks a place on the website where we specifically, where there's going to be a whole bunch of art game stuff happening out there where you'll be able to vote on game words and stuff.
Yeah, eventually you guys will be the contributors of the game words.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Because that's the fun part, is that random. So I'm just creating little vines to attach some leaves to. And that's what you're doing. You're just filling in the space with leaves. If they layer, they layer. You put that leaf behind that leaf. This is a little bit like Zen doodling. You could do a Zen doodle here. You could do a mandala. You can do all kinds of things in the space. I just like botanicals. So that's where I just tend to go. And bring a little leaf here. I may need to load up. And I really like the contrast of the black and white and the color. And that played for me very deeply. So isn't that coming in beautifully?
Mm-hmm.
I just love it so much. Love it. I love this painting. I'm so happy. So happy. My daughter has an elephant. Pink elephant that she's had since she was 2. It's in rough shape right now.
Well loved.
It is well loved. It's Velveteen Rabbit time up in here with this elephant. And when she was a little girl, she would every day go, "Where's my elephant?" And we didn't have a stuffed elephant. She'd be like, "Where's my elephant? Where's my elephant, Mom?" And I'm like, "We don't have no elephant." So I'm looking for this stuffed animal we don't even own in the house. And no grandmother had given it to her, and she would just be on about it every night. And we go into this store. They have this little thing, Little Divas, where they do these like little girl makeovers. And on top of this kiosk was this pink elephant. And she just starts going, "There he is, there he is, there's elephant."
There.
So we bought it.
And we have had
that elephant ever since. She's like 11.
Now, see, the thing is that I have gone out and
to find that elephant.
To find that brand of elephant.
Just in case something happened to primary elephant. You know how you do as parents.
Yeah, and does not exist.
No.
I found a blue one. I found a gray
one.
A brown one. We found many other elephants.
Not that pink
just
one.
like it, but in a different color, but not that one.
Yeah, it was a real thing. I think we even wrote the manufacturer.
They just never wrote back.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
Well, it's like somebody wants to buy one stuffed elephant. It's not like
it's not their big, not their big concern.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking for places to put these leaves. Right, looking for places to put some leaves and tell my little vine story. No, it's fun for me.
Yep.
Just looking for leaf spots, filling in that space. If you made a mistake, what would you do? You would just let the paint dry, paint it out, start again.
More layers.
More layers.
Just like an ogre.
Just like an ogre. Just a little bit here and there. We're almost done with our elephant. We've had such a lovely Tuesday. I hope I see a lot of elephants on Facebook and around. Because I really love this painting.
Yeah.
Everyone's want to do one.
Everyone else out here does too. They're all commenting on how they think it's a cute elephant. It's so peaceful and calm and fun.
We need more of that in the world, don't we? Peaceful, calm, and fun.
Yeah. We've got over 240 people out here with us right now, painting along with us. So thank you guys for joining us. We really, really appreciate you coming and painting with us. If you can take time to like, comment, subscribe, and share this with your friends, because it really does make a big difference to share it. It helps get the word out there. So
it does. It really does, and we love spreading the word.
Well, we love having more of you guys in the room because it's a lot of fun.
It
more
is
people playing
so
art
fun
game.
To have this many people playing art game, because you guys will know about art game.
And if you're just joining us now in the not live now, then you can play art game too.
Yeah, you can always play art game.
Yeah,
you play art game at home with the family.
Yeah, you've now found the 5 secret words, and you can butterfly, windmill, horse, balloon, umbrella. You can take those 5 keywords and draw them and then post them on the page. Do it in about 25 minutes or so.
There we go. Bohemian elephant.
Wow.
How gorgeous would this be framed in your house? How gorgeous would this be?
That's really, really cool. I like how that turned out.
So happy with this painting. And tomorrow, what are we going to do?
Batman.
Did I just get his content ID claimed?
Man.
Boy, if I get a claim.
Be like, there'll be that one little muted out spot. That's what you're going to find. There'll be a little dead air there. And then me going, Batman. And then the content ID. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
it's like that. So tomorrow come join Clive and I. Clive's doing Superman. I'm doing Batman.
Yep.
They're both really cool paintings.
Yes.
My Batman is great. Mom, I totally did this so like
One
mom or
hoot.
dad can give. Yeah, it's a hoot.
It's a hoot.
And you can give it to the kid,
Yeah.
and they'll be blown away. If your little brush wants to paint with you, this is a really great one for a little brush to paint with you. I'll definitely try to make sure I have a traceable for it up tomorrow, because you guys might be doing it with little brushes.
Yep.
But I mean, you can freehand this. This is the Batman for mom and dad hero points.
What time are we doing that tomorrow?
I think it's at 12:30, because we're doing it on Clive's upload time.
12:30. Okay. So
On
we're
Welsh time. We're on Welsh time.
Indeed. So this
So
is
see,
gonna
I'm not just only my time central. I'll go Welsh.
So this won't be live though. This will be a pre-recorded.
Mine is live.
Oh, yours is
and
live. Okay.
Clive is pre-recorded.
Okay.
And he's doing this gorgeous Superman, and I've got my
You got your Batman.
Batman.
And it is the every bat.
It is the every. Yeah, I really tried to do several. It's interesting. I was trying to do a hat tip to the movie Dawn of Justice, but make sure that all the DC representations of Batman, except for Super Long Ear, are represented.
Yeah.
We didn't go.
Yeah, we didn't.
Not that I didn't love that aesthetic.
That's pretty cool.
It was cool.
But you bang your head on stuff when going through doorways and things.
Yeah, it would just be the painting would just be all bat ears. So
Yeah.
we went with the short. Anyways, you guys get it. You guys get it.
Yeah, you got practical bat suits.
Kind of old school signal.
Yeah.
Little tips here and there. I think you guys like it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
So thank you
It's like
guys.
3 colors.
Thank you guys for coming and being with us today.
Thank you.
We really love you guys.
We want to see you at the easel really soon. Be happy. Be well. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.